yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right. In New York City, yeah, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, FBI, in New York City, please, the FBI, man. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that FBI. Hey, listen, I'll just tell you a story because, that's what I do for a living is I sell stores. So I want to tell you a story right now. And it's the truth. It's the damn truth. And nothing I'm saying. Yeah, do I swear that this is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? I swear, God Almighty, Jesus Christ. I've been a good Baptist boy since damn 1972. And nothing gonna take that away from me. This kind of thing it's gonna maybe destroy my career. But I'll tell you what now. I want to tell you something right now. Going to tell you something right now. It ain't gonna take away from Bobby Grant. It's my name. Because I've done a lot for this this industry. I've come a long way. No Southern ball. No Southern balls come as far as I have in this business. And I've achieved a lot, and I would not throw it away because of these shenanigans or these perpetrated by these boys and girls. I had nothing to do with it, and I'm going to distance myself from it. And part of the way I'm going to do so is beyond just exposing the truth. I'm just going to communicate the truth because the truth shall set you free, or the truth will set you free. And I know what it's going to do for me. So that's why I'm going to tell you the truth right here. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, it all started out with me basically. I get thousands of tapes and unsolicited films sent to me, but it turns out I got one that was brought to my attention by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and I went and tried to sell this guy, basically this chief operating officer of Comcast NBC Universal, okay, a guy named Robert Bryan, and he's an old friend of mine. I've sold him a lot of programming over the years, and he's always been good to me, and I've always been good to him. He's a very good relationship. So he's also from the South, actually from the same area, same county, same parish. You guys call it county up here in Northwood, and it's called parish down there. And we were born up in the same, he's a lot older than me, but we were born in the same area, and we lived out there. We know all the same people. And so yeah, I call him first. I kind of say I got a Confederate right of first refusal on him. So me and Bobby Grant, we go back a long way. So I bring him this thing, and this is fresh off me, selling Silky and Jersey Shaw to MTV. So I got relationships with people, and I'm already on the up and up. And I'm the one who's coming up for one thing. It's for this non-fiction programming of a long-form serious nature, especially focusing on the demographic between the 18 and 25, the coveted slot of all slots. And not only does it involve the focusing and targeting of the audience of this demographic, it involves as a cast members this demographic. And ever since we had this whole damn real world thing, everyone's been trying to bite on it and reproduce it and bottle the magic once again. And it's hard. It's really hard to do something because it gets contrived. And what's interesting to people is real drama. Well, this is just one of those things that just happened. We just got lucky. I mean, I amend my words. We got lucky in the sense of a pure professional analysis of the dramatic qualities of the events that ensued thereafter on a legal and reality basis. Of course, there was nothing fortunate about what happened. It was a tragedy of unspeakable proportions, and you can take me to the bank and quote me to the hilt and whatever the hell damn thing it is. I'll tell you right now, it's a good thing and a bad thing. So let me just tell you about what it is. Well, I got to the tape. And after I saw the tape, I knew I had to go. I knew these kids were natural, and I knew that this was a tragedy. I mean, we were watching the last hours of their lives. I mean, think about that. We were watching the last hours of their lives. I mean, these kids, this was the last hours of these kids' lives. I mean, to me, that was some compelling television, and this man agreed. And he bought it. Comcast and NBC bought it. So a lot of the parents got pissed, because of course the parents got pissed. They're now looking for an investigation about was it arson? Was it homicide? Was it a suicide pact? Did someone kill these kids? Was it an accident? Is there someone to sue? Is there someone to go after and arrest? I mean, they had questions out the ass. I mean, I had questions out the ass. I didn't have as many questions because, I just wanted to close the deal. And as we closed the deal for the right to make essentially this incredible tragedy that was, it was in the news cycle for 2.5 weeks in 2013 in spring. And, this whole thing had been at the tipping point of a national story, Anyway, turns out that as we basically close the deal and basically have a schedule for late fall for the premiere of the graduation party, we have kind of coincidentally and concurrently, in a parallel sense, an FBI investigation commenced by one of the parents of one of these deceased students, who was the South Carolina senator who commenced this FBI investigation, got these boys involved, 2 senior agents, and they started questioning everybody, especially the boy who survived. I mean, actually, there was 19 dead or something like that. But I'll tell you something right now, there's one kid that survived. And, you know, some people say he died of a broken heart. This boy lived because of a broken heart. And that's a whole nother story altogether. Anyway, so he came in there as a key witness, talked to the FBI. They suspected him at first, but this guy, couldn't hurt a fly. He was good people, this kid. And, he had gotten shafted. He had gotten the wrong thing. But he's doing good now, and God bless him. But he represented kind of, the last link between the fate of these kids that, had grown on America. I mean, here we have 3 things happening. We have, a crime that's being investigated. We have circumstances surrounding it becoming more and more disturbing and convenient, like, who's filming this shit and who's sending it to us and why they sending it to both the FBI as well as the studios, and who's behind this thing. I mean, it became very kind of what was a practical joke kind of thing, but hey, I was awarded the rights legally, and even though I was dealing with a proxy or an entity that I had no idea who owned it, it was like doing business with a fucking Swiss bank account. It didn't matter to me, because as long as I get my 10%, who the fuck, I don't give a fuck who made the damn thing, okay? If it was Fellini, Tarantino, or fucking Orson Welles coming back from the dead, it just don't make no difference to me. You see what I'm saying? I get my 10% no matter whose hands are on it. So, I make my deal, NBC does their thing, and then as we're airing this shit, and this thing's, taking through the roof, and it's going to the point where they, we want to renegotiate the deal to double the terms. As that happens, new evidence is introduced, shall I say. And one of these dead kids all of a sudden turns up alive. That's right. Yeah. This black girl who was a sassy girl in the film. I mean, she was always rubbing her butts up against people. But she sent a little letter, and she sent a little tape, a little outtake, if you will, of some footage that had not been broadcast or even shown to NBC, to my knowledge. Well, I certainly didn't see it, and I sold it to him. But the footage was quite telling in what it did. After all that, a scandal ensued, and we were trying to figure out what the fuck was going on and who did what to where. Were they alive? Where were they? Who did this? What was the purpose? Was this true? Was this fake footage? Who knew? So finally, they started to figure out that, yeah, they had actually filmed this, and they got the filmmaker in there. They actually found the filmmaker who had made this shit. You understand what I'm saying? They found him, they brought him in, and after bringing him in, they, got some answers to some questions. Anyway, to make a long story short, once we understood that they had not intended to do something this insane, we realized it had gotten out of hand, and they were basically, the whole plan was very simple. These kids didn't want to grow up, they didn't want to get jobs, so they wanted to remain young forever and college forever. And in order to perpetuate that and to make that eternal machine, if you will, the perpetual money machine of doing nothing and not working and not having any responsibilities, what they did was they killed themselves. They killed their young selves. They formed a corporation, a 501c3, and they started to take charitable donations through the licensing of what? Of the very footage that they themselves conveniently had filmed, ostensibly because it was, a big night and a big party. That's why they had it filmed. But that ain't the reason why they had it filmed. They had it filmed because they knew they were going to get it monetized. They were going to live in death, monetized, funded, and financed by monetization and all exploitation in ancillary markets throughout the world, whether it's Netflix or TV or DVD. These people, they're going to get paid for the licensing of this content if it hit, and their deaths ensured that it would hit. Because had these kids lived, who gives a shit about watching 10,000 of these goddamn parties happen every day? Who gives a shit whether this was one was videotaped? Who gives a shit about these kids? I'll tell you why America would care and did care. It's because they had died. Or correct myself, because we thought they had died. It's like, why are all these artists famous after they die? Something changes about the most ordinary things, or certainly the most extraordinary things change, but something about death changes a whole person's life. Don't make no sense to me, but it's the way it is. It's the way it's gotta be, I guess. Anyway, make a long story short, I'm gonna finish up right here and just say one last thing. This whole thing has been a complete mess. All we've tried to do is do right by everybody and just get this thing fixed. Yeah, we may have exploited a tragedy, and yes, that tragedy turned out to be a comedy in a sense that it was completely fabricated, but that in itself is a fraud, which was not fair to the parents that suffered and to those that invested emotionally into these people and thought they were dead. Yet it did, it did kind of in this age of the internet and ubiquity of information about people's lives and the voyeurism that's been so commonplace. Is it really so wrong? Maybe they were clever to have monetized their deaths and don't do what they did. I don't know. Listen, I don't got the answers. I just got the questions, all right? My name's Bobby Lee, and I just got some questions. And you boys, you guys are the investigators. You guys are the lawyers. You guys went to, the justice schools. You figure it out. All I gotta know is one thing. I got some other things to do. I just got, besides Jersey Shore and the graduation party, I did Buck Wild too, which is basically a story about where I grew up. And so, we've had a tragedy there, a real death. Nothing fake about him. He died, and God bless him. But, that show was going on, and they wanted to pull it. So, there's a lot of weird things going on here with these reality shows and how much, truly, reality is much stranger than fiction, as they say. It certainly was here. It certainly was here. So, hey, listen, I'll just tell you a story because, that's what I do for a living is I tell stories. So I want to tell you a story right now. And it's the truth. It's the damn truth. And nothing I'm saying. Do I swear that this is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? I swear, God Almighty, Jesus Christ. I've been a good Baptist boy since 1972. Now, nothing gonna take that away from me. This kind of thing going. It's going. FBI. In New York City, please. The FBI, man. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that FBI. Maybe destroy my career. But I'll tell you what now. I want to tell you something right now. It ain't gonna take away from Bobby Grant. It's my name, because I've done a lot for this. In this industry, I've come a long way. No Southern ball. No Southern balls come as far as I have in this business. And I've achieved a lot, and I would not throw it away because of these shenanigans or these perpetrated by these boys and girls. I had nothing to do with it, and I'm going. Yeah. Yeah. Right. In New York City. Yeah, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I'm going to distance myself from it, and part of the way I'm going to do so is beyond just exposing the truth. I'm just going to communicate the truth, because the truth shall set you free, or the truth will set you free, and I know what it's going to do for me. So that's why I'm going to tell you the truth right here. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, it all started out with me basically. I got